And last up for the build team, we have Grimlock, also known as Build Hurricane in Car Robots. And as you can already see here, he's no longer a Dinobot that we usually expect him to be. But he is now what is called a green backhoe. And you can move the shovel here on this joint. This joint. And this joint. And you can also rotate the cab here around. And that's about it for the vehicle mode. So to get him in his leg mode, you want to remove the shovel here. On this hole and this peg. Then you want to take these here, open them up, come underneath here, take the connector here, untab it and bring it up. And you can see this hole is where this tab goes into. Then you want to rotate it around so that the knee joint here is facing forward. And as for the connector here, you want to rotate it around on here, and then you want to take the, this here, rotate it around and position it down. And you're done. And I'm not a fan of this leg mode for the combined mode, because as you can see, it just looks weird. But now for robot mode. So what you want to do is take the connector, which is here, and make sure that it's like this. And you also want to rotate the joint here, which is the knee joint, like this. Then you want to bring it down so that it's like this. Now for the treads here, you want to untap them and bring them out. Then you want to extend them out. Open up these. Flip down his feet. And rotate them around so that they're like this. Do the same on the other side. Then you want to take the cab here, rotate it around, and for his legs, you want to collapse them all the way in so that they're like this. Then you want to take his head here, bring it up to about here, so that way you can separate the cab here, which will become his arms. And for his elbows, for this elbow here, you want to strain it down, rotate it around, and flip out his hand. Then take this piece, bring it down, so that way you can bring his arms back. And for this elbow here, you want to bring it out and flip out his hand. I will have to use a tool here. From the canopy here. Then bring this down and bring his arm back. Then bring his head down, and you're done. And the robot mode to me is weird, because as you can see, his arms here are like disproportion, because if you want to move his elbows here, you will have to bend them like this. Because the ball joints here are facing this way instead of this way. So you're stuck in this like T-Rex pose, which is what I like to call it. And also, his arms here don't tab in because there's no tabs where this hole would like go into. Same for his legs here. And overall, his proportions are really awkward. But for the articulation, he has a swivel at the head. Arms can rotate, and if you want to, you can move these up. Elbows can bend here, rotate here, and also bend here. Ball joint at the legs, the knees, and that's it. And for the shovel here, what you can do with this is that you can untab this here, but to do that, I will have to use a tool here. And as you untap it, it becomes a claw weapon, which is spring-loaded. But sadly, he can't hold it because of the way his hands are designed. But you can store this on his back. And to do that, you can either plug it on this hole or these holes here. So now to get him in his torso mode. first I will have to remove his shovel, flip his hands up, and you want to rotate them up. And for his elbows, what you want to do with this elbow is you want to rotate it around like this and bring it up so that it's like this. And for this elbow, you want to rotate it like this. Bring it down to here and bring it up. So that it's like this. And I like to rotate his head around. And for his legs, you want to bring them out. Rotate his legs down. And for his knees, you want to rotate them around and extend his feet down and position these so that they're like this. Oh, and you also want to bring his feet down. And for the connector, you just want to tab it in like where it was in vehicle mode. First I had to situate it first. Then you want to make sure that the joint here is like this, so that way you can bring it down. And there you have his body mode. And the way he holds his hands is in these holes here. And if you want him to hold the claw weapon, he has this hole where this peg goes into. So now let's combine these together. First I gotta bring in the rest of the others. Okay, so the way Hightower, Heavy Load, and Grimlock connect is they all have these tabs which will slide into these holes here. I will have to scooch the camera back. So now you have them like that. Now, for Wedge here, the way he connects is you want to connect him. Oh, but before I do that, this hole is where this peg goes into. But to connect him, you will have to connect him like this at an angle. Like this. And then rotate him up where this peg goes into this hole here. Or if you have these high tower and heavy load in their body modes, you can connect these to these pegs. Oh, and to release him, you just want to unpeg him from this peg and this hole, or these pegs from these holes on these guys. Then turn him this way and then he'll be released. And you can position these however you want. And here we have the combined robot Landfill. So stay tuned for the final part where we're going to take a look at Landfill himself.